Break it down. Give me 5 people you ready to fight right now.
Timothy Bradley, Paul,
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fan wants to see.
Yeah. Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you went ahead and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the bruise. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table.
You motherfucking tube. It's your boy RyloJenkins here. Officially dropping my first video of 2014. And I'm gonna title this one, "Oh, How Fucked Up We Are." As I was sitting, reflecting on some shit, there was a situation, me and my girl got into a little beef or whatever, and nothing serious or whatever, but she just started, like coming with like this attitude and shit, and I ain't know what the fuck for. So, I asked her, so, what's your problem? You. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck is it? And she wouldn't say shit. So I didn't, I wasn't gonna keep badgering her about it and shit, and she didn't want to say shit. Oh well, fuck it. I bounced. I just, go and went on about my day. Come back home and still got this attitude. So, all right, fuck it. Just gonna say shit else about it. So eventually, a couple days later, whatever it was she was mad about, she must have forgot it, because I guess she figured whatever the fuck she was doing wasn't working, so why be mad about it? Or why be this way about it? Because obviously it ain't making him be no different. So I thought about us as boxing fans. And like the biggest story all of last year, the 2 biggest stories was one dude losing, who you thought might win that fight, and a fight that ain't happening, and the nigga tell you it ain't happening. So check this out. Us as boxing fans, I'm talking to us, the YTBC. One of the biggest stories of the year was not the dude who beat the dude, but the fact that that dude lost. And everybody made a video about this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Me included. I made one too and titled it that shit or whatever, but we talk more about the nigga losing and what he did wrong than the person who won and what he did right. You know what I'm saying? We talk more about a guy who tells you that he doesn't want to fight nobody, or at least nobody who's a threat or a challenge. Then we talk about a dude who tells you he wants to fight everybody in the welterweight division. We talked about a fight that ain't probably never gonna happen more than we talked about a fight that has a great possibility of happening. Like, how fucked up are we? Is boxing fucked up because the fans are fucked up? Or are the fans fucked up because boxing is fucked up? Because we all fucked up. We all got this shit wrong. When I sat back and I thought about it, I'm like, damn. There's a dude out here in the heavyweight division with 30 fights, 30 knockouts, and we hardly ever talk about him. But there's a guy who talks about all his money and all of his records and pay-per-view records and all of that shit. And he don't want to fight nobody. We got a dude who wants to fight every champion in his division. But somehow a dude who just lost is headlining with another dude who just lost on a pay-per-view. We got a dude who ain't fought no legit guys in his weight class, but somehow got crowned and deemed the best fighter in his division. And we got a dude in that same division calling out everybody, fighting and beating everybody that's willing to get in the ring with him. And this dude can't even get a title shot. And we won't make enough noise about this dude. Who's really fucked up? Is boxing fucked up, or is it the fans fucked up? Did the fucked up fans fuck up boxing? Or did fucked up boxing fuck up the fans? Somehow, some way, on a macro level, we messed up. We messed up bad. You know, I don't know when it started, when it happened. You know what I'm saying? But we are, as fans, just as bad as the fucked up politics that we think about in the game. So when we talk about, like, say for instance, a guy who got knocked out in the fight, headlining a pay-per-view against another guy who just lost in his next fight, why should we even talk about that? Why shouldn't we be talking about the guy who beat him? Why shouldn't we be talking about the guy that the other dude lost to? See, and it's funny because I was listening to the Boxing Voice the other day while I was sitting at work, and Ness was going ham because everybody kept talking about Triple G, Golovkin, and Provodnikov, right? And, you know, he kept saying, well, you know, this guy's ain't beat nobody, and he ain't fought nobody, blah, blah, blah. So, and I realized, on that note, he's kind of correct. But this is what I think that he's failing to comprehend, or most of us fail to comprehend when we analyze the state of boxing. There is, how shall I say this? Like in boxing, we have a you know, there's those unspoken or unwritten rules that just exist in boxing. You know what I mean? Like, just in general. You know what I mean? Like, if two guys said they wanted to fight, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about boxing. I'm just talking about like a street brawl. One dude say, I want to fight this dude. And the other dude say, I want to fight that motherfucker too. And they say, all right, we're going to meet up and, you know, let's get the fight on or whatever. And one dude come and he fucking pulls out a knife or some shit. I mean, it's fair. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. It's a fucking street fight. But what you can't tell me is that ain't some pussy ass shit. That ain't a pussy ass move. That's what you can't tell me. You know? Just like these cats. Everybody want to pull out a gun. You know? Don't nobody want to throw hands no more. For some reason, back in the day, beating somebody's ass was tough. Now you got to shoot somebody and shit, which is stupid as fuck. You know, but now the tough guy is the guy who can shoot somebody. Well, hell, anybody can pull a trigger. Niggas get shot by accident. Just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That shit don't make you tough. Don't nobody want to throw hands no more. Because for some reason, They more worried about being humiliated about getting their ass whooped. I'd rather be laughed at for getting my ass whooped by some dude than be the nigga whose family can't afford the funeral and shit. You know what I'm saying? And boxing kind of took that same look good next time, just win this fight mentality. Like, ain't nothing wrong with an L. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to take an L. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's why we got all these, it's like this pussy ass boxing going on. Like, people want to say, like, talk that sweet science shit. Or niggas you don't know nothing about the sweet science. But there's a science to everything. You know what I mean? There's a science to everything. There's a science to what Provatnikov does in the ring. There's a science to what Golovkin does in the ring. There's a science to what Kovalev does in the ring. And the best thing about the science that they do in the ring is it's not left up for interpretation after 12 rounds. Nobody has to figure out and add up points. Nobody has to decide whether this was an incompetent person who decided the fate of the winner and the loser. There's no discretion, no room for interpretation, no margin of error when Kovalev and Golovkin get in the ring. There's nothing like absoluteness, absolute finality. Like, whenever there's a 12-round decision, it can be argued. It can be disputed to some degree. When you get put on the fucking canvas and the ref counts to 10, it ain't no disputing that. There ain't no interpretation, no argument. You ain't even got to explain that shit to nobody. And I mean to the most ignorant boxing fan. You ain't got to explain shit. They understand that dude got knocked the fuck out. But we can argue back and forth all day about whether Tim Bradley lost to Pacquiao. Whether Canelo Alvarez had a draw with Floyd fucking September. As Landy Lara and Paul Williams. You know? There ain't no discussion in Abner Mares and Johnny Gonzalez. You know? Orlando Salido, Mikey Garcia. There's no debate, no discussion. No banter about that. Keith Thurman and Soto Karass. Soto Karass and Andre Berto. You know? No discussion about that. No. Even the dumbest person can watch that and understand exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no debates, no argument about that. The national championship. You could argue who you think was the better team all year in college football, but you can't argue about who won the game. Who the fuck did Alabama lose to? Who did Auburn lose to? Who in 2013 or 14 beat Florida State? You know what I'm saying? There ain't no debating in that. So that's why those guys are gaining popularity much faster and easier than a lot of these so-called slick boxers or counter puncher style type dudes, whatever. Because it's simple. It's easy to understand. It's easy to interpret. It's final. To comprehend that shit takes very little. And not that you have to be a dumbass to appreciate it. But what you do appreciate is the finality of it. There is no debating about it. I got sick of trying to debate with people about whether Timothy Bradley won against Pacquiao or not. All I wanted people was to admit that it was a close fight. Now, I thought Bradley won, but I can understand somebody who thought that Pacquiao won. But the fact of the matter is, it blew my mind when I heard people say that it was a 10-2, you know what I'm saying, 9-4 at best for Pacquiao. I'm like, no, that was a close fight. But some people don't seem to feel that way. But Pacquiao Marquez 4, there's no debating about that shit. I mean, you can argue whether if Marquez was losing the fight up until that point, whether Pacquiao looked good or not. But who won that fight? There ain't no debating about that shit. There ain't no discussion. There ain't no need for more of those two guys in the ring based on the way that fight ended. So, in conclusion, I just want to say that us as boxing fans, us, the YTBC, let's check ourselves, you know, and evaluate what we talk about and how we spend our time and energy and what we talk about, who we talk about, the matter and the subjects that we discuss, because it's almost like this. And I said this, I was on the horn with a couple of guys, man, and I explained to them this. Let's say it's a nice chick that, you know what I'm saying, you want to get at. And she knows this. So she uses that to her advantage. So she like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, buy me this, do this for me, take me here, take me there. And you keep doing it. And you doing it. All in hopes that some point in time, she gonna give you the ass. And you just keep doing it. And you never get the ass. At what point in time do you stop doing it? How desperate are we as boxing fans to keep begging a motherfucker to do some shit that they ain't gonna do? Obviously. You know what I'm saying? And when the bitch tell you, I'm never gonna fuck you, what makes you think she gonna change her mind? Stop asking her. Leave that chick alone. Listen, it's a whole bunch of chicks who will give you some ass. Holla at one of them. How about that? It's your boy RyloJenkins. Holla at your boy.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you in the head and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the bruise.